Hey guys, how's it going? So, after a few days of seeing the coolest Star Wars game trailer that I've ever seen, Star Wars Eclipse, actually, maybe Force Unleashed probably competes with this one. I've been able to think about some of the things that I want to talk about with this game and give you a condensed sort of breakdown, which I can't, no one can really give you a breakdown because we don't know anything about the game, but I can give you my thoughts and impressions of some of the things that I've seen from the trailer that I didn't point out last time when we were doing the live stream and the reaction. So let's go through it bit by bit and let's see what we find. Synopsis of the game. Star Wars Eclipse is the newest adventure in the High Republic era, now early in development by Quantic Dream. Learn more on StarWarsEclipse.com. Set during the High Republic era, Star Wars Eclipse is an intricately branching action-adventure game that can be experienced in many ways, and puts the destinies of multiple playable characters in your hands, created in collaboration between Quantic Dream and Lucasfilm Games. So right off the bat, we get these guys, and I'm thinking the whole premise of the game, I'm just going to say this because you've probably seen the trailer already, is that these dudes, or these alien creatures, they're under the earth or under some planet or whatever. They can't go in sunlight. They're kind of like vampires. Perhaps they're impervious to the Force. Who knows? Maybe they have, a whole army of Ysilamari from Legends, which, if you didn't know, they're working with some sort of thing like that. Which, if you didn't know, the Ysilamari were these little creatures that you would put on yourself, and it makes you impervious to the Force. So perhaps they're force resistant, or I don't know. Either way, they're obviously extremely dangerous. I feel like they're the villain of the entire story. And Yoda is anticipating this eclipse happening, and he's very weary of it. I don't want to say afraid, but he's weary. So I love how the whole trailer starts off with this. It's in motion, it's happening, and by the end of the trailer, the eclipse has actually happened. So this city right here, it kind of looks like Naboo a little bit, kind of looks like Maz Kanata's planet, but it just looks like some new thing entirely. The focal point of this right here is this temple. Ships fly above a bustling cityscape as its temple rises above. So this temple is the focal point of this picture and of this city. So as to what this temple is, or who owns it, or what it's all about, don't know. Could be a Force temple, could be a shrine. It could be perhaps the temple where these alien dudes reside, maybe below it. But it is a very, whoever and whatever it is, it's very, very important because it is so grand and it is the focal point of this entire city, it seems like. So these characters that we see, it's been told from the website themselves that we can actually play as different characters. So I'm thinking we can play as different species, and it's a role-playing game. Essentially, you can play as different characters taking different journeys through the story. So you can, if you want, you can be a total bad guy or you can be a good guy. Depending on the choices that you make in the game will shift, much like Detroit Become Human, which is one of my favorite games, and this game is made by the developers Quantic Dream. Obviously, these guys that are below the earth, or whoever they are, these vampire creatures, we'll call them, these aliens, we'll call them, they obviously are very tribal beings. They're making music. They're very rooted in their ways. They're probably very, very old and ancient, I'm feeling, and probably very barbaric, but very advanced. So here's Yoda. I think Yoda knows what's coming. I think he knows what's happening. He knows that the eclipse is about to happen. And mind you, this takes place 200 years before the Phantom Menace. If there are going to be some scenes that take place way before that, cool. If there are going to be scenes that take place just up to the Phantom Menace, awesome. But it's beautiful to see this once again. The prequel era is my favorite era, and to see Coruscant and Yoda and the Jedi Temple, it almost makes you kind of sad because it's like Yoda's like a vampire. He has to see generations of Jedi come and go and die. And, every 100 years, depending on the species, few hundred years maybe, there's a new batch of people. So somewhere in the chat when I was doing the live stream, someone said that they found out this is actually C-3PO. And I know a lot of you might be saying, well, how is that possible? How is that possible? Well, maybe these are the pieces and the parts of the original C-3PO that Anakin later got, and we saw him put together in the Phantom Menace. So it could be possible. Could be. Who knows? So obviously 2 Jedi were training on some planets. Very cool. It's probably some High Republic planet, most likely. This planet, I don't know where this is. I think it's Naboo, because we have a Naboo fighter right here. Right there. I don't know why that's there, since this is 200 years before the prequels, 200 years before the Phantom Menace. But it just kind of makes you think, hey, maybe this is just Maybe they didn't change them. They never changed the design. It's just always been there. But it makes you kind of go back to the prequels, which also so did the Jedi Temple that we saw with Yoda standing there. Kind of looks like the Ebon Hawk from the Old Republic. Ships flying to a building where Superman is being kept in the ice. Could this be lava coming out? Probably not. It's probably just a cool design. Neimoidian. So I'm feeling like we're going to see a lot of prequel stuff that eventually came to be in the Phantom Menace, and we're going to see a lot of that build up and a lot of the reasons as to how this all came and why it came and all that, with the Neimoidians, of course, who were in control of the Trade Federation, the blockade on Naboo. This is probably one of the coolest parts for me, the fact that we get to see 2 Jedi, and they're going up against a band of warriors. I think these warriors are sort of like, they're obviously not the same creatures that we saw, the vampire creatures, who seem to be the most ominous and powerful, and the ones waiting for the eclipse to actually happen. Maybe these guys are perhaps with them and they're fighting as part of their army or allegiance. But yeah, this same symbol is a symbol that we saw on the right here. This is the coolest scene of the whole trailer for me. Someone said he's wearing a Jedi braid, but it's just an earring. Wouldn't that be funny? This gives me some major Dune vibes. This is maybe their leader or like one of their most powerful. Maybe the eclipse. Maybe. Okay, eclipse is total darkness. This guy is complete darkness. He's like pitch black. So maybe the eclipse gives rise to this guy. So kind of like the sun would give rise to flowers and plants, the eclipse allows him to wake from his slumber. What if this guy has been sleeping for like 10,000 years and this is like the first time that he can actually awaken from his puddle of goop? And Yoda's like, this is horrible. Like, what am I going to do? All my Jedi are kind of wiped out or something. And perhaps he needs to get a whole new... Maybe that scene of Yoda is that bit where it's just nearing the Phantom Menace, maybe like 50 years or something, and he has no more Jedi because most of them have been wiped out by these goo people, the vampire people. And perhaps the Jedi won, but there aren't really many of them left, and the eclipse has now passed, and they're waiting another 1,000 years? 500 years? Who knows? Is this something that Grogu will have to deal with and see? Either way, this game looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for it. See the galaxy through the eyes of an ensemble cast of multiple charismatic playable characters, each with their own morality, personality, motivations, and impact upon each other and the story at large. Compose an original Star Wars story. With all new characters and environments, you have the power to make choices with consequences thanks to many outcomes in this deeply branching narrative. So I love the fact that you can make your own choices. And, you know, whatever the series or the scenario is, you can say, no, I don't want to do this, or yes, I do want to do this, or you can handle it in different ways. Kind of like the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, but in a way different now. Or like Detroit Become Human, where you can either choose to save the person or let them go. And this completely changes the story going forward. So you can almost play this game several million different times and you'd always have a different ending. Shape your fate in the Outer Rim. In an uncharted section of the galaxy with never before seen species and planets to discover, this part of the Outer Rim is rife with opportunity and political tensions that could alter the fabric of peace. What will you do? So once again, political tensions. That seems to be the theme of Star Wars anyways. And it's nice to know we're in the Outer Rim. So lastly, let's go ahead and look at the gallery of pictures and the little caption that they have for each picture, because they actually give us some interesting insight onto what exactly is going on. So a drummer with tree roots in front of him. I didn't even notice the tree roots the first time I saw this, but it was pretty cool seeing it. A starship rapidly approaches a planet in distress and seeking to land. So this ship obviously looked pretty busted up. Where is it coming from? Who was attacking it? We don't know for now, but it looks like this ship is in major need of repair, and who's driving it? It could be you as the main character. Not sure. Self-explanatory. Pet shopkeeper. A Mon Calamari arrives at the market. So a lot of you were saying in the chat that there was a Mon Calamari that looked like he was wearing Jedi robes. It's not him. So right here is a Jedi looking Mon Cala. So this could be a playable character. It could be a character that you meet on a quest. He obviously maybe senses him, or he is following this guy. Don't really know. A mysterious stranger sitting in a corner. So again, this guy's there for like 2-3 seconds, but he looks like another playable character that possibly you could play as. or you meet him in a side quest. A suspicious-looking Duros who surveys a bustling market. Self-explanatory. What happened to him? Why is he all scarred up here? Who knows? A speeder bike races across a natural landscape while an animal drinks at a pond. These are some major Episode 2 Attack of the Clone vibes when Anakin went to save his mother, or failed to save his mother. And it would honestly be pretty sweet to race across this landscape in the game. Last but not least, of course, most important for me, Yoda stands in an empty Jedi Council room looking out the window. So is this at the end of the game? Is this at the beginning of the game? Is this somewhere in the middle where Yoda is anticipating the eclipse? I don't really know, but all I know is that it's beautiful, I'm excited, and I can't wait to play this game and see what it's all about. In fact, I think I'm going to make this my wallpaper. So anyways, that is my breakdown and review of Star Wars Eclipse. I'm really looking forward to this game. I can't wait to play it with you guys and live stream it. If you didn't know, I have a over 20-hour live stream on the channel from playing Fallen Order when it came out. It was a great time. We did a bunch of streams over 20 hours long, and we ordered some pizza, and it was a really nice time for me. I remember it, how great it was and interactive it was with you all, and as we were learning different levels and, you know, coming to the ending, it was a fun time. It was great, and I can't wait to do that again with this game, which most likely will be a longer game, I'm feeling like, since there are so many different possible options, and we can play it in so many different ways. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to do it with you all and see your progress as well. So thank you for watching this video and breakdown. Subscribe to my other channels at Harry Potter Theory, Cobra Kai Theory, Theories Arcade, and a few more that you guys may or may not know about. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.